in this upcoming video clip, I'm going to preface it by showing you it's coming from the director of a think tank. Why is that important? Headline, Fox News: ESG scores similar to the Panda Nation's social credit system designed to transform, I'll get back to that word, transform society. Yet, oh my friends, with lamentable words I say, what are the majority of God's people doing? They're snoring in bed. And give me verse number 6 of Luke 16. Let me get verse 8. Verse 8 says, Christ speaking, he says, the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light. So what about in the final generation? They are wiser than many who are in the professed Christian churches.
We know that this is coming for individuals, that there are some individuals who already have ESG scores and they don't know it. And really it makes sense, right? If you want to transform society through a social credit scoring system, you can do a lot of that through corporations and banks and financial institutions and Wall Street. But at some point, you probably are going to have to apply that to individuals as well if you're going to take the shift to a stakeholder capitalism system seriously.
Clip 2.
ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance metrics. It's a kind of social credit scoring system. There are many different ESG metrics that are used all over the world, primarily in the United States, Canada, and Europe. And the goal of all of these metrics, though, is essentially the same. It's to try to get companies in particular, but in some cases, potentially even individuals, to change their behavior by rewarding people with a higher ESG score for performing well in certain categories, and then punishing them for doing poorly in those same categories.
Clip number 3.
The people who support ESG metrics argue that this is an essential part of something they call stakeholder capitalism. They believe that we need to move to a new kind of capitalism, one that doesn't just look at profits and losses and traditional business metrics, but that looks at what's in the best interests of the collective. They think in order to address something like climate change, in order to deal with problems related to pollution and plastic in the ocean, to deal with social inequalities and racism and all of this other stuff, you have to create a social credit scoring system, or else these businesses are not going to do it on their own. I don't believe that ESG scores are really being used for the reason that they say they are. I think it's mostly about controlling society and about making lots of money and about pushing a left-wing agenda, but I don't think it's about making the world a better place, although that's how they would characterize it.
Friends, is he blowing the whistle? Yes, he is. Listen again. Next.
This is a group of incredibly powerful, incredibly wealthy institutions and individuals who are deciding how to transform society sort of all on their own. And there really is no oversight from any sort of government agency, from individuals. They have no power your average everyday American has no power to force these companies to stop doing this. You're going to be impacted by it whether you like it or not, and the rules could change at any time. And I think ESG scores are already impacting people's lives, and they just don't realize that it's happening. Regular people, the reason your car is getting more expensive.
Brothers and sisters, it's serious. It is serious. Listen, continue.
Car is getting more expensive. The reason that gasoline is getting more expensive, the reason why Disney is doing the things that it's doing is all tied to ESG scoring systems, directly or indirectly. All of these things are filtering down to regular people, and that's by design. That's the whole point. The point of it is to transform all of society. not just to transform what happens inside the walls of some big corporation, but how that impacts everybody on a day-to-day basis.
And friends, what is the key here? What is the key? To transform society. And what are we told in Revelation chapter 13? What will happen in America? There will be a transformation. That's Revelation 13 and verse number 11. Are we now seeing a financial transformation taking place? I'm going to ask a question to those of you who are live. Did you catch the principle of the common good? Friends, there it is. All right. They believe that we need to move to a new kind of capitalism. I'll come back to that. One that doesn't just look at profits and losses and traditional business metrics, but that looks at what is the best interests of the collective. What theory is that? That's common good. You see the Vatican, Jesuit, Papist connection. Who said several months ago that capitalism is the dung of the devil? And who is also calling for a new economic model? Okay, friends, Mr. Antichrist himself. The signs are clear. And we see all of this, brothers and sisters, on the heels of the new push by big merchant. Do you remember who I call big merchant? Big merchant, friends? All right. What are they promoting? Big merchant. An American CBDC. That's it, friends. Central bank digital currency. All connected with the ESG. The signs are here,
Looking
brothers
forward.
and sisters.
Rapid changes are...
I don't need to hear him right now. Get off my screen. There it is, my friends. Speed up the CBDC. The signs are here. Losing your social and economic freedoms. Oh, brothers and sisters, an attack on your liberty. The transformation is here. And they say we'll do it for the national interest. The signs are here, brothers and sisters. Now, I'm going to share with you another clip that's very, very startling. Watch this, brothers and sisters. I'm not sure how we can overlook the signs of the times and not realize the second coming of Jesus Christ is even at the doors. Listen to this.
Hey, I'm Brian. My pronouns are he, his, him. I understand you're looking for a small business loan, but you're having troubles with your ESG score.
I was denied.
What's your business?
I operate drilling equipment, oil and gas.
Uh-huh. The E in ESG is for environmental. You're in a dirty industry.
So I can't get no loan?
Well, let's take a look at your company's social policies. Tell me about your plan to create social justice.
Social justice.
Do your employees get paid time off for abortions? And tell me about your diversity, equity, and inclusion plan.
Well, I ain't got none of that. I'm a driller. I just hire good people to do the work.
Well, maybe there's one more thing we can check. Do you have any female co-owners?
No, just me.
Ooh, have you ever identified as a woman? Or even just non-binary? It could really help your score.
What?
Your loan is denied. Come back when you fix your ESG score.
My friends, don't smile, don't laugh. It's
my
serious.
wife's like, what'd you do after, 6 months?
It's serious, my friends. And these things are showing us in layman terms where things are tending. So we can better understand how it is going to be rolled out, as they say, coming to a screen near you, coming to a state near you, coming to a city, not near you, but coming to your town. Listen to this, brothers and sisters.
Kim, what's on your radar?
Well, you may have been hearing the term ESG lately. Last Saturday, Elon Musk tweeted, "I'm increasingly convinced that corporate ESG is the devil incarnate. People who follow the Great Reset and the World Economic Forum, such as Glenn Beck, often warn against it and are even encouraging legislation to stop it from being used. But it isn't just those who are against ESG talking about it. You may have seen it in headlines on Bloomberg, MarketWatch, or Forbes. So what is it? Well, ESG stands for Environment, Social, and Corporate Governance. It's similar to a credit score, except rather than being based around a company's revenue and history of paying back debts, the ESG score is centered around sustainability and ethics. It's currently only given to corporations, but I think it's easy to imagine a future where the score is assigned to individuals as well. Now, the system.
Okay, clip number 2.
So what's the problem? Well, the problem is the system is subjective to whomever decides what ethical is. Though many people believe the ESG score is about climate change and the environment, the truth is the social and governance aspects of the score have just as much weight, sometimes even more, than a company's environmental impact. So the E obviously stands for environment. That's carbon footprint, pollution, and waste. The S stands for social, which judges things such as how well a company embraces social justice and how diverse a company is. The G stands for governance. Does the company embrace things like a diversity board and who is in charge? Now, those sound nice enough, except this is just a small list of what goes under each category, and the people deciding what is or isn't ethical, like in most Silicon Valley-based companies, are clearly liberal elite.
However they plan to roll this draconian system out, they're going to say, you don't meet our standards. You are not going along with our laws. As a result, you can't buy, you cannot sell. The system is here.